Welcome to Pegwarmers. I'm Kevin.
Kevin?
Hey, Toad.
Kevin.
Can you see me on the other side of the building?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Kevin. I'm Tony. Sorry, we have this giant Ghostbusters house in our way.
Welcome to Pegwarmers. We're here to talk about toys, and today we're talking about the Kenner Ghostbusters line.
Ooh. Whoa, what's this? Hello?
Yeah, this is them. Yeah. I found them. Level 3 nerds.
Oh!
Oh, man. You guys... It's a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of nerdy stuff, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, you bunch of nerds.
Who brought all this stuff over?
You know, it's funny. A lot of this stuff wasn't here until you showed up, Ryan.
No way. The guy in the Ghostbuster costume has a collection of Ghostbusters nonsense.
I'm excited for this episode. Here's the thing. So I'm not super into the Ghostbusters franchise. I'm more like the movie, the one movie.
Okay.
And the Xbox game was really good.
It was very good.
Because I wasn't around for the initial, boom
You missed it.
of the cartoon.
Yeah.
By the time I was, getting into toys, it had run its course.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see a lot. I mean, I have seen a lot of this stuff, but I'm excited to actually talk about it. I want to see what I really missed growing up.
I was of the era, but
Yeah.
I actually got introduced to the franchise by the cartoon.
Yeah.
Then saw the movie and was very confused by why it was so different.
Yeah.
But a lot of my friends had seen the movie first and then saw the cartoon. We just didn't see a lot of that, slightly more adult humored movies as kids.
Yeah. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah,
Is it good?
I believe it. I believe it.
It's pretty good.
Is it good? Is it funny?
It's not bad.
It's like Buffy fans. They're like, I know, we don't watch the movie. Or SG-1 fans. Like, we don't watch Stargate.
No, I might have a Ghostbusters problem.
Yeah, I think so.
I grew up on the Ghostbusters. I don't know who had it. I think we had it recorded off the TV.
Yeah,
But
so
I
I
would
watched
watch
it.
Ghostbusters. But my first memory of Ghostbusters is the slime tub scene from Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Because we had that on VHS. And I would watch the cartoon, and we had that on VHS because I was it was starting to wane. I would find toys, like the Fright figures or whatever at stores. But most of the stuff I have was hand-me-downs.
Okay.
So I had parts and pieces, and then I would just watch the same 10 episodes of the cartoon over and over and over again. And, run around. This is my pajamas
Nice.
from when I was a little kid. I would run around in these and with my proton pack chasing, imaginary ghosts.
Yeah, I had the projector wand
Oh,
one as
yeah,
a
that's
kid.
a cool one.
But the only room that was ever dark enough in the house to use it was the bathroom. So it'd be going around the haunted house, but then be like, oh, I think it went in the bathroom. And go in there and project Stay Puft on the wall,
Yeah.
It looks like it was a fun toy line. If I had any of these toys, I would have really liked them.
It's a great line.
I was getting hand-me-downs of Transformers and Turtles. For some reason, I was not getting hand-me-downs of Ghostbusters. I just totally missed that whole thing. I did catch some of the cartoons when I was younger.
Okay.
Ghostbusters 2 was a little bit closer to the cartoons than Ghostbusters 1.
They definitely
Yeah.
realized the marketability of it and
Yeah.
selling it to the kids.
Yeah.
Of course, corrected a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, do you want to go down the line?
I can't stop smiling seeing all this nonsense. Usually this is in boxes in my basement right now because I'm...
So you're enjoying it. You got to take it out of the tubs
so
once in a
good.
while. This
So
is actually
good.
a thing I've been talking about on the show a lot. Is I want my collection on display. I'm tired of looking at stuff in boxes. So I'm making some hard decisions of okay, I can live without this because it's gonna take up too much space.
Yeah.
Like the Lost in Space movie figures. You're getting rid of those. Waterworld.
Did you sell those Waterworld ones yet?
Not yet.
Anybody
I was getting ready to, and I keep just hanging on to them. I don't know why.
You just love them.
I do.
What are you
Waiting
gonna
for you're waiting for the review to come out.
What are you
of the
gonna do with that
movie to
bathtub in the
drive-
basement if you get rid of the
drive
water?
the price up?
That catamaran or whatever it's called.
trimaran.
Yeah, trimaran.
No, I'm definitely
Oh,
at that
yeah,
point
yeah.
now. I'm looking at a lot of these. Actually, a lot of these were donated, so I don't want to get rid of them. But my
Yeah.
older ones that I collected, I'm like, what could I live without?
Yeah.
There's definitely a few coming up where I'm like, if we do an episode on that, I'm
might
going to
get rid of
get
it.
rid of all those toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wave 1 of this line was fantastic. It was the 4 Ghostbusters in their cartoon accurate suits. They all came with a proton pack. You had the Green Ghost, Slimer, who is not called Slimer on the package anywhere.
Green Ghost.
Stay Puft, and the Firehouse and Ecto-1. That was the majority of that line. There were a few other like ghost monster toys. They were fantastic, super fun, but I got them so slowly that I could never get the full team in the cartoon accurate jumpsuits.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? It was one of those things like I got the Firehouse and I got Ecto-1, but I only ever had Egon in the regular jumpsuit. Then I had to get Fright Features, everybody else.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I didn't bring the Fright Features because I'm not a huge fan of those. I love the look of them, but they're not great toys to play with.
Yeah.
But I got a couple of these guys recently, but every one of them was from a different like
series.
The only Winston was the only original I had.
Okay.
And then there's Ray, and then I think that's the color changing one.
Okay.
And then there's these goofballs. I love these outfits. But I had Egon in that color, the black and the purple. And it was like I just had a menagerie of the lines. It was so goofy.
One of the really great things, though, about this beyond the action figures, though, was the role play stuff.
Absolutely.
There was so much, like everything you needed to be a Ghostbuster, except I never really knew anybody that had the jumpsuit. Now, your pajamas look like a jumpsuit, and they did make one.
I had the jumpsuit.
I never saw it as a kid. I didn't know anybody that had the jumpsuit.
And I can't remember if the jumpsuit was Ghostbusters 2. I think I had the Ghostbusters 2 one.
Okay.
And I wore that when I grew out of this. I got that jumpsuit, and I wore that until it was like, I'd be like, oh, my nuts. I couldn't, like, I'd go down a slide and be like, and I convinced my mom she helped me cut it off at the waist, so I just wear it like a jacket. And for years, and it was like until the thing basically disintegrated. It was so ridiculous.
You have the main proton pack up here, which everyone remembers because it came with the pool noodle. Before anybody knew what a pool noodle was, it had this yellow foam that stuck out of the front.
I'm convinced somebody had like that floating in the pool, like, hey, where the floats?
We could sell that.
You know what? That's a pretty good idea. Okay.
It's weird they gave you the noodle. Like,
yeah.
I feel like you don't need it. You can just pretend.
I took that noodle and chucked it and never used it again.
Okay.
It made a little like noise when you pulled the trigger.
Okay.
The gun could like hook on the back of the pack. It had the hose that connected them.
That actually does look cool.
It was super fun, and it came with the
very
PKE
cool.
meter.
Yeah.
Which had its little dial on it, so you could pretend you were looking for ghosts. This was cool. I really enjoyed it. I actually wore. I wore it for Halloween one year with sweatpants and a sweatshirt. My sister and her friends did a group costume. They were in 6th grade, so I was probably in like 3rd. And they were all like appliances for some reason, like a washer and a dryer, but it just looked like they were haunted things because I was with them. It kind of looked like the toilet terror and the other stuff. Yeah,
shout out, it's a haunted toaster. Ah!
Look out.
I kind of like the costume stuff. When I was younger, we had the Batman in the Animated Series sold like the muscle thing that you threw over you with the plastic mask with the cape. So I would have loved something like this.
I just recently got that in the box.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's so beat up and like cracked, and
you got to just think.
Came with that like batarang thing you put water in and squirt. Yeah, I think it was cool.
Yeah, this proton pack. The only thing that is not actually mine here is that proton pack. Okay. It's from my friend Eric from the Keystone Ghostbusters in Pennsylvania. They do a bunch of awesome events, and he was nice enough to lend me that. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hug it. I'm going to do a little cuddle with it. I do have the proton pack and everything else, but just not the boxed original. I mean, I love that. Is
the foam in there?
I think it is, actually.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
I also love that this guy that they're busting looks a lot like the pack-in ghost from Peter.
Yeah.
Like, just that brand
like
consistency is great.
Looks like it's just a palette swap of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just always thought that was neat as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, like the design of everything, from like all the lines of figures, all the packaging, it's just gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's nostalgia for me, but I'm like, it's probably the best toy line design of all time. And I will hear no dissenting opinions.
My favorite thing, though, even more than the pack, I had a ton of fun with this trap as a kid.
Oh, it's so good.
The trap, it's the cartoony colors, but it looks a lot like the trap from the movie. And then the fact that it has a little foot pad to open it,
the
just
working
blew my
pedal.
mind as a kid.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna flip that ghost.
Yeah, you kind of need the foot
It
pad.
was so fun.
It's something they didn't even really need to do, but the fact that they went
It's
and
so
did
cool.
I would slide that across the floor in the living room all the time, stomp on that thing. Oh, it was great.
It's amazing. And I actually have the recently just like found it for like $5. It was the manual for it before I got the actual trap.
Okay.
And then I got the box. I was like, this is amazing. Oh, wow. Oh. And it's like cool seeing all the features that was intended because there's a clip underneath that hooks onto your belt.
Yep.
But then the handle hooks onto the pack.
Yep.
And then like the front is meant to hold like when you loop up the hose. I'm like, this is so
Oh, really?
cool.
I didn't know about the hose part. Okay.
Yeah, like you just loop it up and hook it onto the front. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, this is so cool. The colors are great. It glows in the dark.
All of the stuff had a lot of like fake knobs on it too. That as a kid, it was just you'd like make up stuff. Like, this does this and this does that, and I love that with the trap. I also used to use the trap with the little figures as like another device that they would use. A lot of times in the cartoon show, they'd have some wacky like invention for one to fight one particular ghost or another.
Yeah. Real quick, is this the Stay Puft that came with the original toy line?
It is a re-release. Him and the Green Ghosts are the are re-releases.
Okay, I was gonna say
these guys.
That was the scale he came.
That was the scale.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't make a big one.
There was a plush one.
The plushy one. It was like,
okay, all right.
And that one still wasn't as big as the Firehouse, but it was better.
It was cool, but.
Yeah.
No, you want a big
There
one.
just wasn't a giant one.
Come on.
Yeah. It's easier to just hit him with the Ecto 1 than...
Oh, yeah. You just run him right over.
Did they ever make, like, for kids, did they ever make, like, a Gozer or the Hellhounds?
Not in a kid's line.
Because they weren't in the cartoon.
No.
So, yeah.
No, they should have, because they do reference the movie in the cartoon.
Yeah, because I remember, what is it, the first episode where, like, the
Something like
Gozer slime on their uniforms?
That's a later episode, but it's a callback to
yeah.
explain why they changed uniforms.
Yeah.
Yep.
They make a Vigo figure?
No, they should.
So
They really... It was its own... entity. Lewis is really the only crossover like
I was gonna say
character,
totally
in a way. Yeah, they did do Lewis as a figure.
That was so weird that they would like change the second movie, like make the second movie in line with the cartoon, and then not make.
They didn't really tie it in. They
You
should
do
have
like a season finale or something like that. It should have been
like a two-parter that
Yeah.
touched on it or something.
Yeah, but that's weird. Like they wouldn't like make a Vigo figure, or there were no Ghostbuster 2 lines. They were just doing this.
They made Ghostbuster 2 tie-in toys to these. Like they made the Ecto 1A that had the Ghostbuster 2 logo on the side and things like that.
Yeah,
but
that
they
was
didn't.
very cool.
They didn't make like figures that were specific to it with the slime blower backpacks. Really.
Yeah, I don't. They should have made like a bathtub monster and like.
Yeah, that seems weird. They wouldn't do that. Anyway. I do like that Lewis totally got his own.
Yeah, he's so goofy looking.
Yeah, it is interesting that they did Lewis in the Ghostbuster suit. They did a Janine in the Ghostbuster suit and the Fright features. Like it was fun that they made kind of the whole Ghostbuster world in a way that a lot of toy lines would have just always skipped over Janine, would have skipped over Lewis. It was fun they eventually did. I never had Lewis as a kid, but I did have the Janine figure.
Yeah, I think I got Lewis a couple of years ago. It was just one of those things like my cousin's like, I'm getting all my toys. You want? I'm like, yes,
please.
Yes, please.
Janine makes sense. So with a lot of these toy lines, if you have like one girl, it'll probably sell.
It'll be
like,
okay.
People will buy April O'Neil. People will buy Princess Leia.
Yeah. Well, like the
Ghostbuster
Ghostbuster
a lot of
fans
kids that were like, I need Mon Mothma. Like I can understand why those don't sell up, but like Janine, like, oh, you know what? I have all the rest.
And they waited. She was in wave 2 with the Fright features, and then a couple waves later again there was like maybe Super Fright feature or something
like that.
But they only did 2 Janines, and I think they only did 2 Lewises. So it wasn't like every wave they were trying to sell you the second tier characters.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, does Power Rangers get lucky with the girl figures because so many people want to buy the whole team?
There are seasons where they never made the whole team.
Really?
Yeah, for a little while there, they were just
like, my
parents of
would
boys.
buy,
Yeah, Mighty Morphin, they did everybody.
My parents would buy us the whole team of like everything,
which is nice.
Because I also had a little sister, so she liked the girls too. So we made sure to get all those.
In the beginning, they did, and I think eventually they realized they just didn't sell as well. So
okay.
And even if they did make like the basic figure of the girls, a lot of times they did any deluxe figures. It would just be like the Red Ranger, maybe the red and blue or something. they did definitely cut back on them.
But I feel like Janine would be a safe one for them as long as they didn't make too many of them.
Yeah, and she's like
and that first one they put her in the
like,
suit, so it was like she could fight the ghost too.
That's the toy you give
you're
your
not
sister.
You're not just leaving her at the firehouse all the time.
That one. Are any of these ghosts from the cartoon, or are they just packaged?
They're just packing guys. So
yeah.
this is we kind of reference this in the water world. Like every Ghostbuster guy came with a little packing ghost, so you always had a battle in every package, which is why I think Waterworld came with the fish, so that way everybody could have a little fun. Some of them like interacted in a way, like the ghost that comes with Egon fits over his head.
Yeah.
Some of the Fright Feature guys, like it hooked onto their accessory in some way, but some of them were just little dudes that sat on the ground. Like
which is cool. Like the little gargoyle guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just
that's
very
the one
cool.
from Ecto 1, right? The orange guy.
Yeah, just awesome designed. It would be cool if they kind of integrated them into the show, but even if they didn't, like all the colors are great, the designs are great.
The show had a lot of really goofy ghost bad guys, like very cartoony, classic cartoony. But then some of the really good characters they created for the cartoon didn't get toys. Sam Hain didn't get a figure until
it wasn't until Extreme Ghostbusters. Yeah,
and he's the one I know.
Yeah,
he's the cool one.
And the Boogeyman was really scary. There was this like demon guy, had like demon feet, a really large head. He was legitimately scary in that cartoon.
He was so creepy.
And they just never did a toy, but he would have been so good.
Yeah.
Did they ever do the Ghosts of Christmas? Remember that episode? That's the one episode I've seen more than any of the others.
They did not do a toy of
They
him.
go through the time portal.
Yep.
And they save Scrooge from the three ghosts who for some reason all come at once, even though that's not how the story works. And then they erase Christmas.
No, we got ghosts like this guy, this friendly little biker dude whose face flips down to make him be a horrible little creature.
Yeah. And I forgot the my old lady, my little old lady.
Yeah, Granny Gross.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. Me and my brother both had one, and we were just Granny Gross all over the place.
She was fantastic. I always thought it was really interesting that they did so many of these, like, I don't know whether they were called neighborhood somethings or other, but like
that's cool.
They did a lot of these things, and in the show it was never really like that. It wasn't like the ghosts came out of humans, but the toy line loved to do these, Tombstone Tackle or Tombstone Terror or whatever his name was, and the Fearsome Flush and all these other things.
Yeah, the toilet.
Like
I remember. The toilet was a big one. I had friends who had the toilet.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these could have been repurposed as Men in Black figures down the line.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's true. One of the other like sublines of this that I really liked was they did the Universal Monsters as bad guys, which was a great tie-in. Like they weren't all ghosts, which doesn't really make sense.
Yeah,
but they were all still really fun figures.
Yeah, they're my childhood Wolfman. He doesn't work anymore, of course. But that was like one of the. I think that was probably the first Ghostbuster figure I had, and the only thing better than the Ghostbusters art is the monster art. It's just like the color purple is beautiful, the pink and it's so nice.
Is that a re-release or is it?
This is an original.
Okay.
But it used to be sealed.
Dang.
But from sitting in a box in an attic, it got a little heated up. And
I had a Dark Side figure from one of the Batman Superman comics that was like really cool. I kept based off Mike Turner's artwork. I kept that thing in a box for 15 years, and like this year the box finally fell and he popped out. I'm like, I wasted all that time. And then I looked up what the figure's worth. I'm like, I wasted time keeping it in the box.
You could still smell the 80s.
Oh, the 80s
air. He had never been open until today.
You're killing the ozone layer by opening this guy. But, he's got some Aquanet in there.
But
oh, that's cool. Wait, so why is one yellow and the other one is... Are they just... Do they do two different things?
No,
this is just played with.
That's
okay.
That's my childhood one, and this one literally until I pulled it out of the box to bring it here, I was like, oh no, it came apart. It was like perfect for years. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it like this. It's just great. And now I'm like, that was the first time I took it out of the little packaging ever. I'm like, well, I guess it's in good condition. I could put it back or glue it on or whatever. But
I'll buy like toys off the market.
I might just end up playing with it. I don't know.
That are like packaged, and when they come, they have like holes in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, yeah, the Tim Curry legend figure in the cabinet.
Okay.
I had that in the package. It was all yellow and broken. Like, I'm just taking them out. I'm not bothering with this.
Yeah, I had to clean off that Wolfman. He was playing in the mud. He was gross. He was like one of my favorite toys to play with. He's disgusting.
It is a cool toy. Like, if I didn't even know that was from Ghostbusters, I would have gotten that toy just because it was a Wolfman.
And what they have? They had the Dracula monster, the Frankenstein monster, the Quasimodo monster, the zombie monster, the Wolfman monster, and the mummy monster.
Ooh.
And I guess
What
they
does
all
the mummy
had.
one look like?
He was
He's kind of wrapped up in white bandages. He's got kind of pink skin, and he would like fall apart.
Yeah, something like that. And like his head would come off, and his like smaller head inside. And
and
stuff
everything
like that.
was sort of attached with. There was actual fabric bandages that sort of attached like
Yeah.
the helmet that was really just the wrappings that would fall off to reveal the little head.
Yeah,
so everything would sort of stay together, but he would just sort of.
It was cool. They all
fall
had
apart.
like action features. Dracula's arms. Like, ooh, ooh.
All right, quick question. Maybe I only know the Disney version, but I'm pretty sure Quasimodo was supposed to be a sympathetic character. Not
No,
so
he's
much
a monster.
Oh, he's a monster.
Yeah, you shoot him with a proton pack.
I'm pretty sure even the original
Blast him right in the face.
He's deformed. I don't know if you're supposed to shoot a deformed man. That's what Ghostbusters.
Please, I'm in your belt, Harry. Get over here. Yeah. And they blast him right in the face.
Quasimodo.
Sometimes I wonder if Quasimodo and Igor just sort of get blended together in these kind of things. You know.
Well, it could be Igor is technically not public domain.
Yeah.
Because he was made up for the movies. He's
Yeah,
not even in the first.
he was made up for.
The funny thing is, the Hunchback is not Igor. The Hunchback is Fritz. Igor's got a broken neck, and people just blend the two together. But Quasimodo, that's based off of a book that's forever years old.
Right,
We can
right.
make our own Quasimodo if we want. Let's do it right now.
The next Hack the Movies project.
But no, the mummy looks awesome. The Frankenstein monster looks like he has a mohawk.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Yeah, he's very 80s, cool guy 80s. I don't know why, but
Oh, did we not
I
have
like him.
mail fraud?
Mail fraud. He's the
No.
postal worker. Yeah, he's a good
that
one.
one looks awesome.
he's very cool, but I was never lucky enough to get him. Yeah, I had the granny was cool. All these monsters are great. And it was just so like such a vast toy line. It's like I can't think of anything else that was so massive except for like maybe Star Wars or Star Trek for some reason.
Yeah.
But nothing is as cool or as fun as like all the weird features and all the weird creatures and costumes and everything.
Okay, I remember this. That's why the car in Ghostbusters 2 is not called Ecto 2.
Oh yeah.
Because Ecto 2 is
the helicopter.
helicopter, so they called it Ecto 1A. It's like, come on.
I love the new movies coming out. People are like, well, is the Ecto 1 and the Ecto 1A are two different cars or are they the same car? There's like debate nonstop.
Well,
on
yeah, the one in
Ghostbuster
Afterlife
forum,
looks like the one from the first movie, not so much the second one, but...
Well, the one from Afterlife is actually the two of them. Because in production, there was Ecto 1 and then Ecto 1A were two separate cars just for production purposes. And then for Afterlife, they put them together. They pieced them all because they were so destroyed.
So is that Ecto 1B?
But that's what people are, well, in the Ghostbuster 2 novelization, they say it's a separate car. I'm like, yeah, but they also say a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, well,
the
Ghostbusters
writer
2 is weird because they want it to be in continuity with the cartoons, kind of. And then
Yeah.
it's like, we've been unemployed for 4 years. It's like, does the whole cartoon take place in 4 months? What happened?
Yeah, it's so funny.
But yeah, I like the Janine. She's got some weird monster with her.
I do have Janine. I don't know why I didn't bring Janine. She's got like a little skirt.
Yeah.
And her yellow arms. I think they spin or whatever. It's like
Well, this
nonsense.
one she's pink. This is the
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
the
pink?
Fright Features
Okay.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her jumpsuit.
Oh, there
Okay.
she is. The Screaming Hero one. She has
Yeah.
the skirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. So what do they do with their little proton packs there? Do they just like spin or?
They do. It actually does spin.
It comes with his own pool noodle.
Yeah.
Ooh. Whoa!
It's so just like the movie.
It's so boxy. It's like the same thing. Do we really need it? Not really. Most people broke them off.
I broke them off of mine as a kid on purpose. Not even just from playing, just like it's always shooting.
Yeah.
Like if you clip it on his back, it's shooting.
Or you
put him in the
can't
car,
stick him
it's
in the
shooting.
car. Yeah.
So I actually clipped mine off, and I used to have the noodle on top of Ecto-1 like a wire.
Okay.
Just because I didn't know what to do with it.
That's so funny.
What's going on with Egon's outfit there? Why does he look like the fucking Phantom? What's going on?
They just kept repainting them. So
Yeah.
you had like this version of Winston is based on the cartoon.
Yeah, that looks.
And they just reused the body. So like this one looks kind of like the cartoon, but he's got the wrong colored straps.
Yeah.
And then eventually they went like with these day glow striped outfits. Then they went to like glow in the dark outfits. Like they just kept using these molds, and I think they knew kids want like the classic
variety,
Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
But we can't keep them on the peg in just the original colors because mom and dad's gonna be like, you have that one. So they just kept changing out the outfits.
That was the annoying part about being a Batman fan. You kept getting all the wacky costumes. Like, can I just get the one where he looks like he does in the movie?
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that I like.
That's the one I
I
want.
don't want a blue sonar Batman with goggles, and I just want a Batman.
Well, the Batman Forever, I wanted the translucent one that was at the end, but I got like the purple one with the wing glider. I'm like, well, the wing glider's cool. What's this purple shit?
So like the Fright Features Ray, I kind of liked because he's in the jumpsuit. It's unzipped a little bit, so he has a Ghostbusters t-shirt on. He has the goggles on his head. I liked that
looks
one.
cool.
But like Peter's in like a life vest or something. That's like I don't want this.
He's wearing
version
like
of Peter.
yellow and blue.
Yeah, he's got this
and,
yellow striped thing on his chest.
like Winston's in
Also,
a
his
spacesuit.
Yeah.
Like,
His hair does not look like Peter Venkman in the Fright Feature one. I'm looking
well,
at
the
it
whole
right now.
hair lifts up. It jumps off his head when he gets scared.
Okay, that
and
makes sense.
I have a lot of the. I didn't even bring them. I was like, literally, I have them in a box. I'm like, I'm good.
They're currently selling the Fright Features like reissues now, and the good thing about it is you can actually get an Egon with a necktie because the neckties broke on like everyone's as a kid.
So because you squeeze his arm or his leg and his
Necktie
tie
flies up.
Ooh! Oh jeez. I wish instead of releasing like they're cool and I love the packaging for them. The Ghost Trap.
Yeah.
Release a Ghost Trap.
Yeah.
People would lose their minds because even the new toy line, like they have the Ecto-1, they have the figures, they have the wand. They don't really have. They have like a cheap proton pack. They don't have a trap. They had the Spirit Halloween trap.
Yeah.
But like, you're missing a trap. Make a trap. Even if it was black, repaint this. Just release it. Like, people would lose their mind. This thing is like $100. Just the trap by itself in working condition with both doors.
Yeah.
Is like $100.
It would be. These look like they would be cool to repaint to look like the movie.
Oh yeah.
Like I know people have done. That's a big thing to do in the Jurassic Park toy lines is repaint them to look like the movies.
Yeah, I know a couple people would do that.
Yeah.
And it's like very cool.
Yeah.
I know with the proton pack, I know a couple guys who hollowed out the back, put lights in it, painted it black, added cables, I was like, that is, and your son plays with that? Like it's good.
Well, I wanted
they're
to
gonna
do it
break
for
it.
Aliens. They made the gun for Aliens and like a Nerf version.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to repaint that, but then I thought about it. I'm like, I could just buy someone who like 3D printed one. It probably looks way cooler.
Yeah.
Overall, though, this was a really neat line. They did so many cool things. I mean, we don't even have like there were Gooper ghosts that interacted with slime.
We gotta show.
All right, we
inside.
gotta
we gotta-
Come on, Kevin.
We gotta talk about this big, beautiful baby.
Hold on. Here's the. I don't know what this is. Oh God! Did it just break? What happened?
It's already broken.
explode?
It's just
Okay.
it's a candy, basically a candy dispenser. I also have
Here's the armband.
some of the
That
like
came with the proton pack.
the old toys and stuff.
Now imagine at one point your arm was small enough that went all the way up to your shoulder.
now it's
now it's a
barely a
wristwatch.
wristwatch.
Yeah, that's how I'm using it. It's a wristwatch. Did you take Green Man? So they called him Green Man.
The
in
Green
toy
Ghost.
line?
Green Ghost, yeah.
Green Ghost.
Yeah, he's
came with
very
pieces of
cool.
food.
Was he always called Slime? Like when did the Slimer name catch on?
I think it came from the
It's the
cartoon.
because he was
From the
Onion
cartoon.
Head.
in pre-production.
Yeah, in pre-production it was Onion Head, and then it was
Right.
the Green Ghost for the toys, and then eventually it was like, it's Slimer.
It's kind of like Star Wars, like Shark Man, and then they gave him all names
Right,
later
right.
on.
Yeah.
So we have the firehouse here, which is cool, and the Ecto-1 can drive right out the window.
Yeah.
But let's turn it around and show what's on the inside.
This is one I got recently because
Whoa.
my my original ghost house is a little dingy and a little worse for wear, and because of the cartoon, they bust out of the doors. Like
Yes.
it looks like they literally drive through the doors. So I would do that every time. Like, oh, we got a call. Boom, right through the doors. And eventually I snapped the doors in half by doing that.
The doors are broken on many of these.
Yeah.
This is a cool place. So I didn't have too many play sets as a kid, like the locations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Did I have any? I don't think I had any. I never had like a back
trying
cave
to
or
think.
anything like
Well,
that.
I had the Wayne Manor and I had this as a kid.
Yeah, I
I don't
didn't
think I
have
had
either of
any
those.
besides that. But those are the two like coolest of all time. So
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind like getting like a replica or something of this at some point because it is really really cool.
This one had a main feature of you could pour slime through the roof and it would drip down through the whole high rise.
yeah, that was so cool.
That had to be fun to clean.
Yeah, great.
My parents made me do it in the driveway, and then it stuck to the driveway. And I was like, "Well, that was a fun one-time use kind of thing."
I had to do it. I had to do it at the picnic table. It has a little platform here that you can raise up. It's a little janky.
Yeah, it's a little janky. It was
Let's
always
try.
hard
I
to
wanna
play
try it.
with.
Let's put toes on there.
Let me get it up there. Oh, keep
Whoa.
going.
Yeah, this is like the least. It was very cool looking, but it was like the least.
It doesn't
It's
function
just poorly
really well.
designed, basically.
And it-
taxes.
Yeah.
It gets like out of balance with only one guy on it.
Oh god! Oh no! His head was
Oh,
Oh, we killed Rick Moranis.
who's gonna do our taxes now?
Delete the footage. No evidence of this. Oh god!
America's sweetheart dead.
Oh, no wonder he's not in the new movies.
I feel like he could have made it, but then the thing collapsed on his head. He's not coming back from that. Oh no!
It didn't really have any of the rooms that you ever saw in the cartoon
No.
or the movie, but the
Yeah.
one room has like a bookshelf, so I always pretended that was sort of like Egon's lab.
Yeah.
The top area I pretended was where they slept. You know, and then there's some weird technical stuff on the bottom here for fixing the car, I
Who
guess.
knows what?
And it did come with a containment unit, a little hollow thing. And if you took one of the ghosts, there was a trap that came with it.
Okay.
That didn't really look like the trap at all.
No,
It was
it
just a red
didn't.
thing. You could put a ghost in it, and you would snap it on top the containment unit. And if you slid it over, it would open a trap door on both.
Oh,
and the ghost
cool.
would drop through, so you
Yeah.
could clean the trap.
It's very
Nice.
cool, but there's no room to put it in the firehouse.
Right, just sat next
Yeah.
to it. Yep.
Well, you're supposed to pretend it's in the basement.
Well, yeah, and that's how my Wolfman got so muddy.
Yeah.
I would bring this outside, dig a hole in my yard just big enough to make a basement, and then I would put the trap and everything, whatever, down there, and the car would go down there sometimes too, depending on
Okay.
if I had to unload ghosts or do whatever.
So does the car do anything crazy? I see a hook.
The
back
car
here.
has a hook that it'll reel back in, so you can clamp it on a
Yeah.
ghost.
Okay.
And it also had a gunner seat that goes on the roof.
It
'cause
did, yeah.
That happened in
It's
the
very
movie.
cool.
You can't park it in the firehouse with the gunner
No,
seat
you can't.
on.
You can't drive out the
Oh, okay. I
doors.
was
like,
looking for the gunner seat.
Yeah.
I'm like, what gunner
There's
seat?
like a black seat that can
It would
can
just
sit
snap
in the
onto the
back or
top,
snap on the
basically,
top.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the? Oh, there's the hook.
Yeah, there's a hook, and it's kind of cool. I don't remember. I probably just took the box and threw it out, so I didn't know any of the features.
Yeah.
The
But it
exhaust
would like
pipe.
it
If
would
you
click, 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 click when
Yeah.
I would drive around, and I didn't realize the exhaust pipe. You'd switch it from like engage the hook.
to retract the
Oh, I
hook.
have it here.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think it might be semi
exhaust
broken now, but when you would pull the car forward, it would pull the hook in, and it was like it would like trap the ghost, pull it
Drag
in
it
the
with
car,
them,
which
yep.
is cool.
Oh yeah, it is pretty broken.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then like you couldn't sit all the Ghostbusters in the car.
Right. There's only 2 seats really, or 3 with
Yeah.
the gunner seat on top.
Sorry, we're just gonna manually pull that back.
There we
Sorry
go.
About that.
That's all right.
But it was a good looking car. That's one of
yeah,
the,
it's gorgeous.
probably one of
And
the
you know
best
what?
pieces of the line.
Because we talk about sometimes they like make it look too goofy. This kind of looks like the one from the cartoon, and enough like the one from the movie.
Yeah, it's close enough for both.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's not like the Jurassic Park Jeep.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is like, cool. It looks like the Jeep from the movie, but then they added like a weird gun on the side.
Well,
and,
that's
like,
this had the gunner seat on
Yeah.
top. At least
Yeah.
you could take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. But like the last movie that came out, they re-released the car, so you could get the new car, which I of course, I got. I was like, well, I have to. Just
That one
for the
has
box
the
alone.
flip out gunner seat on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. It's
This
actually
one,
the exact
yes.
same one.
They reissued
yeah.
this one, but for the last
do
movie, they
have-
did make a toy
that
just
is
for
very
that
cool.
that has a flip out gunner seat and a little RC
Mm-hmm.
drone thing that comes out of the back. There's a new one though, I think, for the
Now,
new movie.
yeah, it's the same. Basically,
Is
same
it the same as
thing.
the previous movie?
I think the stickers are different.
Okay.
And then now it has a flying drone or whatever
right,
on
a
it.
little pack-in thing.
And it comes with Slimer. It was like the only way you can get Slimer, the new, I forget what they call them, Ecto Ooze or whatever, but it's basically a silicone stretchy Slimer that can go over someone's head.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
That's the new
cool.
feature. So instead of having the little pack-in guys
Okay.
that are hard plastic, all of the newest line have these stretchy rubber things you can like pull over the guys.
Gotcha.
it's like a
You
trash
know
bag
they're all gonna
ghost and,
disintegrate
yeah.
later,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the feature with
That's
the
For now,
yeah,
they're
like
fun.
The rubber suit Godzilla we were looking
Yes,
at recently.
just
I'm
like that.
That's the last time I'll ever take this off because it's gonna rip. I know it. What's on the lunchbox? What are they?
Let me see. It is. Oh, I forgot there's stuff in here. It's basically all of them underneath the Brooklyn Bridge.
It's got Janine.
Oh, Janine's
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
You got Slimer.
very
a little
cool.
Monkey thing.
And then let me see what's in here.
All kinds of
Ghostbusters
goodies.
2 on
Game
Boy.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
and other nonsense from high school. We'll just ignore all that. But do you want a Rogue Valentine?
Oh, well, 100%. I want a Rogue Valentine. Are you kidding me?
You're extra special.
Whoa! Thanks. A few months late. But thanks, Patrick.
That's my brother.
Oh, thanks.
Me and him went through and we were like, "That's mine!" No, and then we stamped our names on all of our Valentines because we were worried about the other person stealing
Well,
all of
guess
our
what,
X-Men.
Patrick, I got it now. Your
Nerd.
stamp did nothing.
Guess who's extra special now?
Oh. Amazing.
Take that, Patrick.
We got the game. You want me to pull that over?
Yeah, pull the game over. And they besides the trap, they had there was the blaster thing that had like cool marshmallow sized foam
Oh,
bullets.
cool.
My cousin always had that. I always thought it was so cool. And then like so much there's just so
goggles
much
are
stuff
back here?
Yeah, the goggles. There's just so much stuff. The board game, all this stuff. It's amazing.
One of my favorite things about the board game, this artwork was like preliminary cartoon artwork. So you'll notice they're not quite like the movie, but they're also not quite like the final cartoon. Like they're still wearing the tan suits instead of their own unique ones. This artwork got used on a lot of merchandise, like a TV tray and some other stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun. But this is a 3D puzzle style board game. You build a haunted house.
Okay.
Look at the great moody photographs. Like
That is
they're
cool.
playing it in the
Cool.
dark. It's fantastic. But it had little movable passages and all kinds of crazy stuff that you got to do while you play it.
Yeah, I've never taken. I mean, I've looked at it. It's like tons of parts. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not putting this together. It's kind of like I grew up playing 13 Dead End Drive.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many parts, and it takes a half hour to set up, and then by the time you get it, you're like, well, let's just play
That's
with all
all
the
you do,
parts.
right? It's like Mousetrap. You
and-
just
yeah.
put them together.
Did that with the Batman Forever 3D game.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wait, it comes with Two-Face's coin? Like, that's the best part about this
Hell
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just got the goggles like recently, and I'm like, I never had the goggles as a kid because it's not really. It has like a little rubber plunger thing. You just squeeze it and shoots bullet. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's kind of silly.
That's what they'll use to stop the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. The
Foam bullets.
Yeah.
The foam bullets.
The only
we
cool-
got them, guys.
The only cool part about it is like the back has, you can cut out like a picture of like the Marshmallow Man and like
Oh,
shoot it
cool.
with foam darts.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, that's
that's
cool.
the only cool part about that. I mean, and the packaging design is great. But,
And you got your color forms.
oh yeah, color. When I was loading all this stuff up, I'm like, yeah, I got it all. I'm like, I forgot the color forms. I forgot the fright figures. I'm like, forget the fright figures. I got everything. I'm good. Is it good? I'm like, I can't bring everything, or we'll be here for 5 years.
I know. You said like, Tony, I have more. You were like, do we want to show my entire collection of the 2016 toy line?
Oh yeah,
And I was like, Ryan,
doubles,
there's not enough
triples,
time.
triples of all the girls.
Yeah,
the-
you were like,
the
I have
ladies.
so many Melissa McCarthy's. I will give them to you. And I'm like, no, it's okay, Ryan. I don't want them. We're good.
I brought you some High C from the 2016.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. If you want more, I have more.
Oh,
you know. I know you're a huge fan of the movie. So if you want to sit and drink and watch the movie and really get those 2016 vibes. Yeah, like this, I had this. This is mine as a kid. I love the colors on it. Even though it's absolutely useless, the toy is so nonsense. And it wasn't until like recently I was watching somebody like open one up and like, oh, when you stand it up and I was like, these are meant to stand up.
I never stood one up as a kid. I always
sat
laid
it
them
on a
flat.
table
Yeah.
and like play. I'm like, these are just dumb. But the art is great and like all the figures.
You have a whole Color Forms episode.
There's
right?
a Color Forms episode. Yeah,
Well,
I actually show off the smaller version. This is the deluxe set.
Yeah.
I
When
show
did
off.
Color Forms stop? Because
So you can still buy them, but they sell them at the dollar store.
Oh, okay.
And they're like little fold-out things now. But it's a brand that just can't compete with tablets at all.
Yeah.
Because it's just a reusable sticker sheet.
Well, no,
you know?
even before tablets, like I don't remember those being a thing at all. Like maybe I just missed them all.
Maybe. So they're very old. Actually, I'm going to go into color form history a little bit, but like a guy that worked for a guy or his girlfriend worked at a factory where they made vinyl purses, and they had a bad batch of vinyl that stuck to itself, and the guy brought it home and he made a mosaic in his bathroom on the wall with it, and he had a party, and every time he would go into the bathroom, people would have rearranged it, and he was like, this is a toy.
That's cool.
And that's where it came from, and then eventually they went to like licensed characters and stuff. But I think it kind of had its heyday from the 70s to the 80s, and they still made them throughout the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
It just was so much less popular, you know?
Did they come in like books too?
Sometimes in books,
I
yeah.
had an X-Men one.
Okay.
I don't know if it was Color Forms exactly,
It
but I
could've been
had
some
the X-Men
knockoff.
one where you could peel them off and rearrange them. Okay,
Yep.
all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
then
I mean,
did have one.
The art is the best part about it because all of the art from the Color Forms is the same art from the bed sheets, which I didn't bring. I was gonna bring it, but I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna forget it in my car, and then I don't have my comforter at night and my glow-in-the-dark pillowcase. But it's cool because the pillowcase is actually glow-in-the-dark. It's a ghost symbol, glows very bright.
Wow.
And then it was all the art from like all these little guys on the bed sheets, like shooting this way, and it was just repeated over and over to fill the whole thing. It was very cool.
The proton streams in the smaller set, I assume it's the same as the deluxe, look like they're spraying like milk splatters.
Yeah.
This little white squiggle.
Yeah, it's like a goo.
Yeah.
Just like spraying goo
Shooting
at
Elmer's
everybody.
glue at everything or something. Bizarre.
I'm trying to think of like characters for the movie I would want to see as toys. The taxi driver would be fun. I see they made a whatchamacallit, a Volkswagen Beetle.
They did.
Monster, but I want to see the taxi driver. He was cool.
I think everybody assumed that Beetle was like Janine's car. I feel
Yeah,
like
I don't
every
know.
kid, I don't know if it said it on the package or she was driving it in the artwork, but
I
like
always assumed
every
that,
kid
too, yeah. It's
always
like,
was like, it's Janine's car. It turns
getting
into a praying
away.
mantis.
Yeah, I think somebody could make a fortune if they just started making like Vigo style
In the Kenner
figures.
style, yeah. I think that'd be great.
Actually, take that out of there. I'm gonna start doing it now. Custom figures.
Monster FX.
Yeah.
Well, I like the ghost that shoots sparks out of his mouth.
Yeah, that one probably should have gotten recalled at some point.
Yeah, it's like, was it Wheeler from Captain Planet? It would shoot sparks out too. Like, jeez.
Ghost Spooker changes the sound of your voice. Use spooky sounding phrases to scare everyone.
Everybody
kid
loves a
is
ghost
saying-
spooker.
Yeah, the kid says, "I'll get you." Air sickness. This is a ghost that's a pilot and has a glider, and he turns into a ghost in the air.
Very similar to the motorcycle guy who had
Yeah, did he not?
he came with a little
motorcycle.
scooter that turned into a praying mantis kind of monster.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a cop. Oh no, he's a monster.
It's an ex-cop. Because he's an X-ray, because it's a skeleton.
It's a cool design. I just never cared about the cop figure. I'm like,
Yeah.
Even like I like the trash.
The trash man.
Yeah, the trash man turns into a fly, which is cool and
Yeah.
weird. And then the old lady was very cool because you pull her head up and her whole body would open to this giant alligator mouth with this gross tongue. And then you'd lift her hat, and it was a third eye. It was the weirdest design for a monster toy.
I always kind of wanted to put a little green pom-pom with eyeballs on it in here. Because you remember that Muppet, like if they needed Oscar to move,
Yeah.
Carol Spinning would wear the trash man and operate Oscar inside the trash can. Like it just always felt like that to me. That could have been the figure of him. I think you brought the slime blower also.
Did I? Oh, I did. Yeah. This beautiful. Oh.
So this is from 2.
This is a role play item based on 2.
Role play from 2. This is beautiful. I love the color. I had it as a kid, and
whoa!
A lightsaber shoots out.
It does
got
look like a lightsaber.
And of course it hooks onto the slime blower.
Nice.
I forget what they call this, but it's not it's called a slime blower in the. I don't know if it's even in the movie, but like fans know it as a slime blower, and then the toy was called something different.
Okay.
Which makes no sense, but you know, it's cool. I had this as a kid. It was always like, if me and my brother had friends over, we had our proton packs. We got the slime blower. you know, you could be a Ghostbuster with a slime blower, and like convince them. And then if we had a fourth friend, we're like, well, I have a blue backpack that looks like a proton pack.
You can have the
just have to
PKE
use
meter.
yeah, it was like, you can hold the trap. So we used to play with this in the pool for like years. The only thing I had was the tank, and then I recently bought this. Who doesn't want a purple lightsaber?
It does look like a light. I'd be confused as a kid. I'd be like, why is that a lightsaber? Is it supposed to be slime? I
forget the history of it. I think it wasn't Marvel. I do not remember, but it's the Real Ghostbusters continuation of the show, basically, in comic book form from the time. And it's like the art is very cool. The only crappy thing about this is they didn't do anything with the art. They just scanned old art. It's not like they don't have the original art to scan it and then like do anything to it or correct it or
like color it, like
it looks like they literally just took pages and then like just scanned old pages and like messed with it a little bit so you can't see all the paper grain and all.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I have a few of those omnibuses. I have that's probably Dark Horse, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I have
maybe.
I have like Alien versus Predator. Omnibus.
Yeah, I love I have the Aliens, and then I have the Mask. The Mask comics are so good.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're so good and dark and awesome. Yeah, I have all the re-release figures. I was like, I just have to get them.
It was
were
super
so
cool
cheap.
that you were able to like rebuy them because nobody had the proton packs anymore.
Yeah.
They're all busted up.
Yeah,
it was nice because like they're all. I think they were only $13 each. I was like, that's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Even the car was only 20 or something like that. I'm like, that's amazing. Like that's so cool. I can own it.
The reissue car has hurt the value of the old one. Because,
really?
Yeah.
Because why spend hundreds of dollars for an original?
You just get the new
you can
one.
get a sparkly white.
It's exactly the same.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's cool is like all the aftermarket stuff where like I can buy the new re-release car and then go on Etsy and buy the Ecto 1A stickers.
Yep.
Or like even the I thought about it with the slime blower and whatever I'm missing stickers on, I can just go buy it. People just copy original sheets, the sticker sheet, and I could just get replacement stickers.
I know. I got to do that for like my old Star Wars figures because the stickers are falling off of those. We did a video many years ago. I got new arms for my T-Rex.
Nice.
People 3D print the Red Rex arms.
It's like crazy. The fan community for Ghostbusters is a little crazy. There's people who do like full Ghostbuster houses. Like, no, it should be long, like in the show, in the movie, or they put in like, oh well, it should have a floor there. I don't like that it has this open space, or oh, it doesn't have a containment unit. That's the right. Oh, I'm gonna put a basement. I'm just gonna make a basement, and they just start 3D printing everything they could possibly think of, and it's like amazing artistry.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. You're like, oh yeah, no, I 3D sculpted this extension that it snaps into the original toy, and then you could do. It's like that's insane. I'm insane.
The 3D printing has really
I'm
changed
obsessive,
like a bunch of toy stuff.
Oh,
now
yeah.
you can like modify it even better than before.
This building was like every skyscraper from everything when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like if I was playing with my Secret Wars Spider-Man, this is the Daily Bugle, and he's climbing through the window. It's the Ghostbuster Firehouse. I used it as the Xavier Mansion at one point.
I was gonna say,
I used it for everything.
I had all the X-Men. I'm like, well, move all the Ghostbusters. Oh, the mansion! It's under attack. That was the best.
It was a really great playset.
I honestly don't know if there's a better toy line in the rest of the history of the world. There'll never be a better toy line.
Wow, this is bold.
Wow.
I'm saying it. And I mean, even the play set is so good. G.I. Joe fans might disagree.
Well, what about the 3 figures they made for Mission Impossible? Those are pretty good.
That was pretty good.
They were pretty cool. I recently, when I was looking through my boxes for like the other loose Ghostbuster figures I found the rubber masks because I had a couple of those. I'm like, these are, and the briefcase.
Look, I might have to fight you with the Kenner aliens. Okay,
that is hard. It is very hard. I do own the entire set of both. Like, so I was like, I want to display them. I only have room for one of those collections, and then I have a bunch of other collections. I'm like, I have to get rid of some of this stuff. Like, and then.
And that's why he's selling Waterworld. Monster FX online.
Hit me on Instagram, anywhere. I am selling it. Very reasonable. Everything I own is in very good condition because I'm obsessive.
Except for that candy thing I broke. But other than that,
besides that,
else.
That's been well played with these last couple of months. It was like it's stuff I buy. I'm like, I can't. That's really cheap, but I'm not going to buy that ghost trap because it looks like crap. It looks like it fell out of someone's ass. Like this. I'm not doing it. So I just wait and like, no, I'll find another one that's in like perfect condition for a reasonable price, and then eventually I do, and I'm like,
there we go.
So I don't have a problem. You have a problem. And I was going to show off. Maybe one day we'll do Ghostbusters, the Extreme Ghostbusters.
That would be cool.
I remember watching a bunch
good.
of Extreme Ghostbusters. I guess it was just on at a certain point in the day. I didn't really want to watch it. I would just put it on. But I remember watching a bunch of episodes of that.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I was like amazed that they were redoing it, but that they kept some of the characters. Like it had Egon in it. I was like, that's kind of neat that it does connect.
Yeah, it's like a legitimately good cartoon because this is what, more than anything else, I grew up with Extreme Ghostbusters because we would go. Was I in elementary school or maybe middle school? It was like 6th grade, maybe. It came out. So I would see it, like we'd be watching TV before we had to run to the bus. And our bus stop was basically a block away.
Yeah.
So me and my brother would start watching it and be like, oh no, we have to run to the bus. And we would only be able to watch the intro, which is like the Ghostbusters theme song, but like it was like the Spider-Man theme song. It was like super heavy metal, cool synth. And we would watch and be like, oh no, I want to watch the damn show. Why is it on during the day?
I know.
And then we would run to the bus. We'd almost miss the bus because we wanted to see just what the beginning scene was. And then we would, at the end of the day, get off the bus and run as fast as we could, run home. We would burst through the door, turn on the TV, and watch the ending credits of the marathon that they played all day. I was like, who the hell is this for? What toddler is at home watching Extreme Ghostbusters on UPN? Oh, it drove me crazy. And my dad doesn't watch YouTube, so I could say the amount of times I like, oh, I'm sick. Or we accidentally missed the bus.
Yeah.
So we could sit and watch a couple episodes before like our neighbor could drive us to school. It's amazing I even passed any grades in middle school because we just, anytime like, I don't feel like it today, man. Ghostbusters. Let's Extreme Ghostbusters all day. And I watched the whole series that way.
For Extreme Ghostbusters. I remember not liking it that much.
I love it. It was so good. And because there's so much stuff where it's like, basically rip-off of, there's an episode where Stephen King, or rip-off of Stephen King, is writing, and whatever he writes in the book happens, and it's basically he's writing, if Stephen King wrote the Hellraiser series.
Oh,
so like the Cenobites with saw blades in their face or whatever come out, and they're trying to kill people.
I remember
it's
it had
so
that,
dark.
It kind of had that Godzilla 98 Men in Black cartoon look
Yeah.
to
I think it was the
that
same
kind of style.
same studio or whatever. Yeah.
I like that look. I like that style. Yeah.
And it's Men in Black, Godzilla, and that all had this beautiful, dark, weird style.
Yeah.
It's great.
Men in Black was awesome. Men in Black cartoon
I really
was
liked the
awesome.
Men in
It's
Black
still
cartoon.
good. pandemic. I'm like, well, I got nowhere to go. I have like housework to do. Like I have stuff to fix up.
Yeah.
And projects to do. But I'm gonna watch just one episode of Men in Black, or maybe two, and then I would go and fill orders or do whatever, sculpting, but those shows really hold up. They're so good.
I'd check out Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters again.
Well, you're in luck because in 10 days it's coming out on DVD.
Wow,
the whole series.
Well, by the time
this comes out, it'll be out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave right now and buy a copy.
You can pre-order it on Amazon like I did. It's so good.
I'll see if it streams on Tubi.
Probably will.
I'm gonna commit to buying it.
All right. Well, Tony's got to go to pre-order this thing.
Yeah.
So, thanks so much for watching, guys. Ryan, is there anything else you want to plug?
Just look me up on Etsy or Instagram, Monster FX. I make weird, fun monster toys and silly nonsense. Some of them you see here, My Pet Blob, the stuff, which is now back in stock.
Ooh.
And I get messages every time, like you tell me about it, and then people are like, "Hey, I saw you on the you have the stuff." And I'm like, the container's so annoying to do. I have to get the sticker, cut them out, hand place the sticker, and then I get complaints like, it's not perfectly centered. I'm like,
You're like,
listen,
well, I did 100
I am doing this by hand in my workshop. I am a lonely, lonely man down there with 100 containers at a time. It's hard work. So I'm bringing them back because I got so many people who were like, the stuff. I'm like,
Nice.
All right, fine.
Tony, are you reviewing the new Ghostbusters movie?
Yes, I am. Me and Crystal are getting back together to review it. And if you don't know who I am and you loved Ghostbusters Afterlife, feel free to skip this review. Don't watch it.
I skipped that review. I was like, what? What? Oh my God.
If you like all this stuff, maybe just skip my Afterlife
Like,
reviews and all the
son
new
of a
ones.
bitch.
Just, because you already know I'm going to say they're great and I like them. You don't need to watch them.
I was like, oh, rest in peace, Tony. Bastard.
But yes, I will be talking about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. There we go.
It's interesting. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer looked better than the other one, and that's all I'll say about it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it looks very dark and fun and just awesome. I can't friggin' wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait. It's crazy.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging on the peg with us.